Welcome to Science, Health and Healing, Library of Ali Academy. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. The subject of this article is The Oxygen Model of Cancer, Part 7, Experimental Evidence. There have been studies in which mice were exposed to low oxygen environments. It seems like the incentive to explore this relationship between lack of oxygen and cancer in their minds came from the issue of what happens to people who have sleep apnea and low oxygen, which fascinated me when I read about this. Because Otto Warburg back in 1931 or 1933 that he was given the first Nobel Prize for figuring out oxygen transferring enzymes. He went on to receive a second Nobel Prize. But let me stay with this focus. He clearly demonstrated that a cancer cell was a fermenting cell. A cancer cell hates oxygen. A cancer cell produces tons of acids and it thrives on the filth of the acid that it produces. Of course, that also means a large increase in free radical activity and thickening of the body fluids. Now, those of you who've been watching segments on oxygen metabolism, dysfunctional oxygen metabolism, or those of you who've read my articles, this subject is so important to me that I devoted the 10th, 11th, and 12th volume of my textbook to issues of oxygen homeostasis, dysfunctional oxygen homeostasis, and indeed there is a large article published in volume 10 exactly addressing these issues, that the primal cause of cancer is lack of oxygen and dysfunctional oxygen, which means the oxygen could be there but it's not functioning. So for someone to say that we are going to do this mice study in 2011 or 2012, to me, shows an amazing lack of familiarity with the literature. But still, I'm happy. I'm happy that they did the study and they found out that cancer in mice, when they're exposed to low oxygen conditions, grow rapidly. So it is very gratifying to me that there is a direct, incontrovertible, experimental animal evidence which shows that by creating low oxygen conditions in laboratory setting, you can get the cancers, the tumors in mice to grow faster. Now the investigator said that since they found more blood vessels, that they're trying to use this observation to support their old, in my judgment, completely erroneous model of angiogenesis as the cause or the factor that perpetuates that. In my book, in my 2-volume cancer book, I devoted a large chapter on this subject and gave my evidence that abnormal blood vessels develop as a consequence of cancer, and the drugs like Avastin, which block angiogenesis, will not proven to be good drugs. Indeed, I think it was 2011, FDA revoked the approval of Avastin as an anti-angiogenesis drugs used to treat breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer. I had seen some horrendous complications of Avastin, and I predicted in my book that Avastin would prove to be a failure, as would all other drugs in the angiogenesis group. And my prediction came exactly true. But still, I value this study in mice, that they provide clear, incontrovertible, unequivocal evidence that the tumors grow faster when you create oxygen deficient or oxygen dysfunction studies. I want to point out that oxygen dysfunction, dysoxygenosis, or dysfunctional oxygen metabolism is clearly far more important than just the lack of oxygen. Please look at part 5 and part 6 on evidence of the oxygen model of cancer among humans, and then you will be able to connect more dots. Children's Health Corps was funded and founded by Talat, my wife, and I some years ago. Our vision and mission was to provide authentic information for the health of the children worldwide, free of cost and free of corporate deception, as well as the deceptions of these delusional ideologues who are out there to cure cancer with their raw food. Raw food is very helpful. Nutrients are very helpful. Minerals are very helpful. Above all, oxygen therapies are helpful. But the reason I protest, when I study them, when I listen to them, they have no evidence. They don't study cancer. They don't take responsibility for treatment of cancer. In my judgment, they are irresponsible people who are disseminating wrong information. They have a lot of blood on their hands. Some of those ideologues may take me to task for it, but that's their business. I have to do what I do, and they will do what they do, and you decide what's right. If you wish to support our vision, please go visit our website, www.kids123.org. If you ask, how can I help? Just Google that word, how can I help, and put kids123.org, and that will take you to the page where we make our suggestions. Until we meet again, may you be gracious, graceful, and generous in your spirit. Thank you. Thank you so much.